Hi there. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are on this particular video, it must mean that you purchased one of my Life is Sweet kits from Chalk Couture. And I want to, first of all, thank you for doing that. And thank you for tuning in here. My name is Dory Joe Stoll. My friends call me Dory. I kind of added the Joe along the way because I needed a name in Facebook land. So that's why it came. So I usually go by Dory. And I'm so excited for you to be here and to be doing this fun DIY kit that can go in your kitchen or for keys or wherever you need to hang something. It is such a cute project. I'm so excited for you to give it a try. So I'm going to walk you through step by step, tell you a little bit about what Chalk Couture is if you don't already know. And we're just going to have some fun. So I totally appreciate you being here. Like I said, a little bit about me. If I seem like I'm in a weird place and you hear a little fan buzzing, the reason for that is that I am in my little 1953 Airstream. If you want a tour of that, just let me know. Just put tour down below and I will get that out to you so that you can watch it. But um, I started with Chalk Couture probably about 6 years ago, and I did it only for myself as a crafter. I found it actually because I was looking for ways to make my craft projects look a little more professional because my kids were busy trying to earn a trips to through 4-H to Japan. So we did craft shows, and so I was looking for ways to put like lettering, like this thing over here, and make it look good and professional because I was struggling with doing stencils, with the little bridges and stuff. I think they call them, whatever, that you got to fill in. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at painting. I have carpal tunnel from many years of music practice and playing because I'm actually a music therapist by trade. So that's a little bit about me. I've been married for 29 years to my husband, and we both were raised and grew up in Wisconsin, and we have moved to the mountains of Idaho. We moved here with our 5 kids about 12 years ago. Um, and so we love the beautiful weather, the beautiful area. We are farther north from Boise. We're between Boise and Coeur d'Alene. So we're kind of like midway through Idaho, if you've ever looked at the map. So that's where we're at. And just wanted to let you know a little bit about that, about us. Like I said, I have 5 kids. I actually have 2 that are now married and out of the house. They do live pretty close, within an hour of us, or about an hour each from us. And actually, that's pretty close by Idaho mountain speak. So I enjoy having them around. I do have 2 grandbabies, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, little girl and boy. And then my middle child is at college age, so he's off working right now and will be going for nursing in the fall to college. So that is a fun stage of his life, and try to stick out as much as I can with him for that, try to hang out. And then I have 2 girls that are still at home, 13 and 17. My 17-year-old is the Idaho County Fair princess right now. So we are doing lots of princess things. And I homeschool the 2 of them. I homeschooled all 5 of them traditionally. Not the computer work or not your workbook work. It's the normal stuff where I sit down and actually teach them for a couple hours every day, even in the summer, though they don't want to do it this summer. So anyway, that's a little bit about me, just a tad. Lots going on in my life, but I love to craft. It is my therapy. So I am so glad you're here. Let's do a little craft therapy. We're going to start out. I'm going to move you down so that you don't have to look at my mug. You can see what I'm doing. But we're going to start out. This is actually the little surface that we're going to be using. And as you can see, this will come in your kit that you've already purchased, and there is a little slot, a keyhole slot, so you can hang this up on the wall, and it comes with these hooks already attached to it. So this is a smaller piece, but it is a reusable surface. So what I mean by that is you can just wash it, get it wet, and scrape it off and reuse the surface over and over and over again if you want to change it out. Or this one's been on my wall for a couple of weeks, or actually a month or 2, and nothing is, it's not coming apart or anything. I would totally leave it. But for today's purposes, I want to show you the watermelon. This is one, there's 2 different options. You can use it to make a rainbow, or you could use it to make a watermelon. So this is what the rainbow looks like. And I wanted to show you this because I wanted you to see how to get it off, how this is an erasable surface. So to continue on with what comes in the kit, The surface is one of the items. You get 3 paste packets like this. They're called singles paste packets. One is in Meadow. This is the Meadow color right there. And then there is one in, I'm going to use in my jars. This is Candy Apple Red. That's the other color you will get. And my favorite color probably is Black Velvet. So these pastes come in singles packets, or they can come in the jars. Obviously, I do a lot of crafting, so I usually use jars, but I happen to be out of Meadow. So we're going to use the paste packet today anyway for Meadow. So I've got that. You will also get a little paste tray to put your paste into when you squeeze it out of that packet. Moving around a little bit much, so I apologize. And then you will get a mini squeegee, and you will get a detailed directions. And if you look way down here at the bottom, it's got one of those codes that you can go ahead and hit with your phone, and you can watch other videos. Maybe that'll be better, maybe not, I don't know. But I just wanted to provide you this little time where you can see how to do it and get some ideas and see a real person, because I'm a real person. And this little business helps me not only pay for my craft supplies, but it helps me pay the bills, like orthodontists and things like that. So so this is the B-size transfer that also comes in this kit. And it has, like you can see, the rainbow at the top, the watermelon, and then it's got the seeds and the Life is Sweet down here at the bottom. And it does come all attached in a one piece, but it does have these lines that you can cut. So this is a silk transfer, and we'll be using that in just a minute. So I'll explain that a little bit more. But first, I want to get this going because this is going to take a little bit just to get this cleaned off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use some water to spritz this and sort of get it working. So like I said, I just used 3 different colors of blues, or actually 4, but the bottom 2, they look really close. They're pretty similar in color. You could also use a couple and then just smear them together to make an extra, or mix them together to make an extra color, so you don't have to have so many. But that's kind of the fun thing about having our singles paste packets, is you can use all different kinds. You could try out different colors, see what you like, and get the jar. So excuse me, I'm dry. All right, we finally hit summer here in Idaho. We had snow last week Monday, so it's just a week. It's really weird. A week, we're like in the 80s today, but a week ago we had snow. I was covering the plants from hail. So as you can see, I'm just using a little scraper. You could use, you know, one of those, even the Pampered Chef scrapers to go, you know, the food scrapers to get it off, or a credit card. It does take a little, it doesn't, you don't necessarily need this. It will come off eventually, but I just like it. It gives it that little extra oomph that you need to get it off. It's just easier. And we're still going to see a little bit of relief in this too. So a couple of things I would suggest if you plan on ever changing this out, which, trust me, if it was just me and I wasn't doing a DIY video, I would have just left the blue probably forever. It won't smear anything, even though these are our pastes are water based, and you can wash them like I'm doing right now. If you spritz it or you get it wet or sprinkle something on it, it is unless you scrape at it, it's really not going to come off for you. So I'm just kind of pulling up, making sure I get all the parts scraped here. Obviously, there's more pigment in that darker blue. And we're going to just use a wet wipe. You can use a Lysol wipes on our transfers and on our surfaces. I happen to have an allergy to them, so I use just the water wipes from, you know, baby wipes. And I don't really have any other babies here. I have grandbabies come and visit, but not enough to like have wipes on hand. So I'm just getting the main part of the color off of that, what I scraped out, and get that off of my little scraper. And it's nice for cleanup. You could do this with kids. Kids would love this. This would be a nice, simple project to do with kids. So now what I'm going to do, hopefully I can find it. Oh, geez. The other day, I kind of flipped all my stuff, and my real board eraser, if you can imagine, this is a circle. This is just a quarter. I'll cut my board erasers into quarters and use them like sponges as well. So anyway, my board erasers, this is a quarter of the size of the board eraser, but it works really great on these reusable surfaces. So you can kind of see, like, it had some of the little bit of residue. You can see the rainbow still there. So I'm just going over this with a board eraser. If it didn't come off right away, you can use a little bit of spritz of water on it to just get it cleaned off really nice. And that will be all you need to do to get that board clean. I'm going to have to get one of my kids to crawl in behind things. I sit at the table of the little Airstream here and work, and everything is really tight. So not to mention, you know, craft collecting, it's a thing. So I keep adding to my collection. All right, so that is it. I just wanted you to see how nice and clean that comes out. That is the surface that you would get in the mail. And then the next thing that we're going to do is put our transfer on it. So this is our one of our transfers. It is a silk sticky backed transfer. So anything you see in that teal color is sticky backed. So it sticks to my fingers. I'm actually going to, because this is one of our surfaces that we're going to be using, I'm just going to, the first time you use it, the transfer, you do want to do a little fuzzing. So I'm going to use my fuzz cloth. You can use a clean towel, or you could just go ahead and put it right directly on your shirt. I'm going to get my hair stuck in it. I can guarantee you that. And just fuzz it a couple of times so that it doesn't stick too hard and stick so hard that that little teal part stays on your project. You just don't want to break the, wreck the transfer. You want it to be a little sticky, but not too sticky, if that makes sense. All right, so we are just going to stick this on here and center it on there. I promise you that centering it on here is probably the most difficult part of the whole project. And you want to make sure all the wrinkles and all the bubbles are out of it, even in the center, because it will lift up the transfer. And anywhere you get a little bubble or even a speck of too much, you don't want to have big chunks of fuzz or anything under there, because that will make it so there you go. You could see I made sure it went down really well. Make sure there's no bubbles in it whatsoever. Anywhere you see white, that's going to make a color that you put down. Anywhere you see teal, that is going to be like masking tape for you, so you could do it. So, and this has like kind of a roughy, scruffy look to it, like a rustic look. It's got little specks of teal in the middle, just a little bit. And so that's on purpose so that your little watermelon looks really nice and like you meant it to be rustic. Okay, so I'm going to start. I always hesitate. Red has a lot of pigment, so I'm going to wait on the red. And I'm actually going to start with the green and go around this outside edge first and do that. So when you open these, I like to just go ahead and open. First, you want to knead the paste. And these directions, they're all on that piece of paper that are the directions that you get with the kit. Everything comes up nicely, you know, put together. If you ever receive a paste packet or something in the mail from Chalk Couture that has been smashed, let me know. We'll make sure you get it replaced. I don't want you to go without it. So we're going to use one of our small squeegees, and you see the squeegee has like a beveled edge to it. So that's where I'm going to put the paste, right on that bevel. And so you could put it into your dish and then scoop it up if you want. And you'll see me scooping from the jars for sure. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze this right onto my squeegee. And my meadow looks a little dry. I don't know. Maybe it got some air in there. Could have gotten in the mail. And my mail lady does not, she doesn't do right by me. We get it. Oh, I go rounds with her. She will not send a squeegee through the mail without charging me $4 an envelope, and everybody else in the. So I'm just like squeegeeing this on here, and just, it's so nice because you don't have to be super exact. I'm trying not to go outside of that outside rind part of it. Let's see if we can get this up here. If you find that your paste is a little bit on the dry side, you can also put it into that tray and add a little bit of distilled or purified water. I'm not too picky about it. I just go ahead and grab whatever I have in a bottle. It's good enough for me. I don't take tap water because tap water does have a lot of extra additives and things in it, so it can cause problems. So we're going to see if this meadow even works because it's pretty dry. You want your paste to be the consistency of yogurt, not thick yogurt. This is looking more like a thick frosting right now. So we'll see if this works. You guys might be witnessing something, not work. And that's the beauty of it. It doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. You just never know. It's totally okay. Mistakes, everything is figure outable. Mistakes happen. Okay, this is looking super dry. So I'm going to work quickly, and I'm going to do what we're going to call peel and reveal. And I could see that dryness kind of made it flake away, but it is still green. And I think it's going to be okay. We're just going to go with it, I think, unless we get some spots. I know because my when my paste is this dry, it's not, I can't even, you could lay it down if you missed a spot and redo it. But I think because this is so dry, I think it's going to be difficult to get it spread out. In fact, I'm thinking on my feet here. I might stick this back down a little bit and see if I can't run a little bit of moisture over it to see if it'll fill in some of these spots. Because I do see like a clump there. And sometimes if you get a little bit wet, you don't want to get a lot wet. It's very careful. But honestly, I was happy with the way it was. Yep. Okay. That actually worked a little bit better. If you can see, I did get some of those spots filled in, but it's okay. It's okay. And like I said, I knew from the start to change that. If you find that your paste is that kind of dry and thick like that, go ahead and put it in that little tray. Put a little spritz of water in there and mix it up real good before you use it. So what I'm going to do, this I'll take and wash in the kitchen, but you could wash it between uses. I need to wait till I get indoors to use it. So, but what you can do with this little paste packet is just go ahead, because we've only cut that little bit, is fold it over so it stays dry on the inside. And then if you can use it in the next couple weeks or so, because you probably won't use it all. Okay, so we're going to get this back down again without any bumps in it. Try not to smear my green, my meadow here. And we're going to move on to our candy apple red. And so here we can see this is a little bit more moist than that green was, than that meadow was. And part of it is because, well, my candy apple is actually kind of getting to the bottom of the barrel here. You can use every bit. And even if your paste kind of dries up, just add that purified water to it and mix it up, and you will be able to rejuvenate it. I have rejuvenated pastes that go absolutely bone dry, like to a bone dry. I'll just add a little purified water on top of it to sit for the night, come back, try to mix it up in the morning, and then keep doing that till you get it reconstituted. And then when I know that there's a lot of space, can you see that there's a lot of space in my jar? I'll just, before I close this up, I will spritz it on top so it keeps it moist. And I do that in all of my paints. That's just a little trick I do to keep my paints, going and not get like a dry seal on the top of it. So I'm going to dip into this. You can see it doesn't matter how much you use, because anything extra, you just go ahead and put right back in the jar. We're going to be generous with the amount we use on the transfer, because we want it to be really quick process. You don't want to like use so little and then have to work so hard to get it covered that you just run out of moisture in your paste. If your chalk dries in the transfer, see now, it will pick up and stay in the transfer. So you saw it was kind of polka dotty. That's because my paste started out dry. I knew that, and it's okay. All right, so here is the chalk, and I'm just going to take off any excess, put that back into my jar, use that later, and shut this up so we don't get it any more dry, and it will be good to go next time. That is the candy apple. All right, hopefully we covered everything, and I don't need to open that back up. I will show you the peel to reveal. When you're peeling it off, peel from the center, from one of the sides, not from the corners of your paste, or from your transfers, sorry. All right, and this candy apple went on really nice. I've been having a real dry, so I've kind of constituted, but you can see like I kind of took off some of my green rind there in doing this, because it got like dry there and peeled it off. So I don't know. I might. Let's see. I'm going to set this aside. It just takes a couple of minutes for it to dry. It's kind of wet right now. You can use a hair dryer to dry it. I'm going to set it right there and see if I can't doctor up this section that I have lost some rind on, so that you could see how to doctor it up. It's nothing is, you know, it's never permanent, especially when using chalks. So don't panic. I can always tell the perfectionists in the bunch, because they'll be like, oh my gosh, I smeared it, or I made a little boo-boo or whatever. And it's like, seriously, it's not the end of the world. It's crafting. It's okay. We'll figure it out. It's fixable. So the better way to go would be to go ahead and wash this in the sink. When you're finished chalking, make sure that you wash your transfer and your squeegees just under normal, regular water. You can see I'm getting myself in trouble. I am a messy crafter. I am not a perfect crafter. So if that tells you anything about me, you've learned a lot today. But I'm just trying to clean up my mess here a little bit, because red it's powerful. It does make a mess. All right, before I lay anything more on there, I can't do the lettering or anything. I want to make sure it is dry. So I'm just going to use this dry tool to dry it, but you could use a hair dryer, or you could just wait if you have the patience. I'm not super patient, so I often do this. Now you can see that my watermelon maybe over here went a little bit out of the lines, and that's going to be okay. As soon as it's dry, I'll show you how to get that out too. So we're going to do some doctoring on this, just because I want it to be fixed. It's my perfectionism too. So, but crafting it's okay. You know, in order to look homemade, you need a little bit of, we call rusticness to it. Get that middle part really nice and dry. I might take and squeeze some of this out. Hopefully that middle part will dry before. You can kind of see where it's gone pretty flat in look, but there's that one little strip in the middle that looks a little darker. That's probably the wet part. So I'm going to squeegee this out into my little tray here and see if I can't revive it a little bit. The fact that it's moving makes me not totally give up on it. If it was dried out, I would think that at some point it got a hole poked into it and opened up and got air in there. So we're going to add just a smidge of water, not too much. And then I'm going to grab that squeegee again and just see if I can't get that mixed in, that water, and then try to get that back on there so we can. You don't want it too thin, because it will leak underneath as well at too thin. You don't want it too thick, because it peels off with the transfer if it gets too dry. So it's a fine line when you're squeegee using your paste. And today I'm just not having. I don't even know if this probably is not even the meadow that came. It probably was an old meadow I had in my collection. So it's not even probably what came in your kit. But if you do have problems, please let me know. I'm happy to get it replaced for you or replace it myself, because I want you to be happy with your product. And if you ever get like a gift from me and it had paste in it and the paste kind of squirted out, I usually put it into a little plastic Ziploc bag. It's still usable. So have hope. You can use it. I'm getting my fingers into this project now. Okay, getting my fingers dry here. I want to get this on here. All right. And I'm not going to push anywhere on the red part. I'm just going to try to get this laid down on the green part, and right where that space is, where I kind of washed it off. See if we can't lay some more green on it and call it good. I guess in hindsight, I could have started with the red instead of the green, and that might have helped me a little too, because putting it down and peeling it up obviously tore some of it off. So, but it's okay. We're gonna just fix this area that didn't have any. Hopefully it'll work out for us, and it's okay. You'll get the idea. I'm sure yours will actually turn out way better than mine will. I'm confident of that. All right, there we go. But like I said, well, it's a little better. It still is a little bare, but not as bare. So there you go. You can see my green isn't perfect, but it's there, and it just looks a little rustic. So I'm going to put this back on the backing. Like I said, just take that to the sink, and you're going to wipe it off. You can use those board erasers to wipe it off, and you'll be good to go for another time. You can use the transfers for up to 12 times. So that tells you how much you can use them. I'm going to set this aside here. I want to make sure this is all dry, good and dry before we do the next step. And like I said, I don't know if you could see that right there on this edge over by this edge over here. See the red kind of leaked over? I'm going to show you how to get that cleaned up. I can kind of see the middle section here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just use like a pokey. This is one of our tools. You don't need to have this. You could use just about anything like that would scrape it, even like the back of a pen or something. And I'm just going to scrape it right off. And you can see, look, just like new. It doesn't even look like I went overboard. and that was just a spot where I had a little air bubble, and it's all good. You can totally do that. All right, we're going to use this other part in our black on this. And again, actually, this feels very sticky. So I'm going to do a little bit of fuzzing on it because I don't want it to peel off my paste. I want the paste to stay in place before I put this on there. And I see that my the new green is still a little wet. So I'm going to make sure that gets dry. I apologize. Well, as you can see, I totally like to do lives, and it doesn't always go perfect, and sometimes it takes a little bit to get the projects done, but it's okay. I figure I'm human. I don't, none of my how does this go? I want to find the middle by going and folding the center like that. So that helps me figure out where the center of this is. Where does it go? I guess it goes off to the side because I want to get all those. Oh, not all the seeds fit. I want to get as many of the seeds as I can fit. Maybe. Yep, that's about as far as we can go. So I'm going to put that down and just go on the red part to get that down. Okay. Now, one thing to know is you don't want to wipe too many times with the new black paste on here because it's going to be, it's going to reactivate that paste that's underneath it. And so you just want to work really quickly, one swipe if possible, in one direction. Instead of going back and forth and up and down on it, you just want to be sure that you don't, I don't think you use all those little seeds. I don't know why they're all over. And I know I just made a boo-boo on my black. So I'm just going to try to get the extra off, put it back in as smoothly as possible. I know I kind of went back and forth. We'll see. We'll see if I made a mess or not. Okay, so let's peel to reveal. Really nice and slow. Cute. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I don't know why the seeds go up into the green part. I guess you could put them there. But isn't that the cutest? Easy peasy. Honest, if I wasn't talking to you and erasing everything off, that would have been what we are. I don't even know how long we've been going. Oh, not even at 30 minutes. So really, you probably could have gotten this entire project done in about 20 minutes without doing all the extras that I've been doing. So this is such a fun little project. We have lots of DIY kits. If you are interested in more DIY kits, go ahead, put DIY, and I will get back with you. Also, you can find me in all the places: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Prairie Scraps is my business name. And I also have a blog spot. So if you want to check that out, Prairie Scraps, also for the blog spot. And I try to share all kinds of crafting ideas, not just Chalk Couture. But Chalk Couture is pretty much the way I make money. I do sell my finished goods as well. So if you ever see a project that you really think is cute and would like to purchase that, let me know. And I'll be happy to help you get that out, help get that out to you. I like to mail it out and help people have personalized things. So anyway, I think all the things. Oh, what I forgot to tell you, if you watched all the way to the end of this, I would like, if you would like to buy your next purchase, if you've made it this far, congratulations. Your next purchase, you will get 10% off. Just either message me 10% that you watched it, and don't tell your friends because it's a secret. No. But anyway, I'm going to put this back up so you can see me. So anyway, that is it. That is our project for the day and the DIY. I hope that you enjoyed this. I just try to give you all kinds of ideas for crafting and help you try to just, have your own little craft therapy. Our DIY chalk made kits are really nice because everything is included, but we do have lots of other supplies that you can get. And if you want to know how to get it for 30% off or even 40% off, let me know that you wanted to learn about the discounts, and I will get that to you because we have some membership programs. So anyway, I hope you have a great, blessed evening. Thank you for joining me, and keep on crafting.